What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring that NBA slate breakdown for the 10-game NBA slate. Yes, we got nice big 10-game slate after having 6-5-4, 6-6 game slates over the last couple of weeks. We're finally back to almost every single team playing, things like that. So definitely a lot of news for us to go over, a lot of players to go over, and a lot of games to go ahead and break down. Hopefully you guys are ready for that. Last night was not a bad night. So quick recap. If you guys tailed the core that I put up, definitely then you guys should have had a decent night, because inside the core that I actually posted on site on the Patreon, which if you're looking for all of my content, my core plays, my player props and things like that, or my player pool, check the link down in the description below to join the Patreon. You'll be able to see it right there. But core last night was Joel Embiid, Andrew Wiggins, Tracy Jackson-Davis, Marcus Smart, and Suggs. Now, two of those players in that core were trash, and that would have been Suggs, who had one of his floor games. Did not expect that from him at all whatsoever going up against the Golden State Warriors. And then Marcus Smart, who legit went out there and played like complete trash. Smart's been doing pretty good over his last several games. Did not expect to get a floor of floor games from him last night. So definitely just I'm not gonna say it surprised me. It surprised the shit out of me, honestly, with the way that he played last night. Honestly, to me, there's no excuse for that performance. Literally no scoring, nothing. Like, it was just trash altogether. And it was against the San Antonio Spurs, which I figured that Memphis would have dominated, but the Spurs, they kept it close. But nonetheless, Joel Embiid, I think that we could have seen a 90-plus point game, fantasy point game from Embiid if the Bulls were able to actually keep it close, because they were blowing them out of the water. Embiid, I'm not sure if he recorded the triple-double, but I know he was damn sure close to getting a triple-double with the way he was playing last night. Wiggins, Tracy Jackson-Davis, they both did all right inside the late game as some decent value plays to have on the slate. But all in all, wasn't bad. I missed the cash line myself by like legit, I want to say 9 fantasy points with my feelings and stuff that I had. So hopefully if anyone else took that core, or if you guys paid attention to the stream, stuff like that, you guys didn't do too bad. And yeah, we're gonna just try to go ahead and keep this going right here. Again, if you guys new to the channel, welcome. Please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I put out over here, and drop a like on this video if it helps you guys win some money, or if you guys just enjoy listening to me talk. It definitely helps me get me out there to more people, so that they can see this content as well, and we can bring DFS back to the forefront and get away from the props. I'm joking. Props are still good, but DFS, man, DFS, bread and butter, love it, and just gonna continue to grind this stuff out. All right, so 10-game slate. Looking at it, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get through this breakdown. Question for you guys: who or what game do you feel like is going to be the game of the night? Whether it be from a DFS standpoint, or if you just want to watch it from a fan perspective. Of course, any night that my Thunder are on the slate, of course I want to watch them. And I feel like any game that they play is amazing. Last night going up against Boston, pretty good game. Was decent. Definitely was on the edge of my seat, especially in that third quarter for a minute coming out, because it was like, okay, how are we going to come out at halftime? Because Boston, they were able to close out that second quarter pretty good. So seeing us come out, put the foot to the metal, however the heck the saying goes. But us to come out and just stomp them in the third, and just was able to actually keep it going. Got out to like an 18-point lead at one point in time, but still kept it going, even with KP going crazy on the glass and everything. It was good. It was a good game altogether, really great. And now I want more than just good regular season from the Thunder. I want us to at least win the Western Conference. That's what I want, because I'm not going to be satisfied anymore with the season if we don't win the Western Conference. I know that's kind of far and in between. I, of course, believe in my team with the stars, the young budding stars that we have. So definitely interesting to see how everything else is going to shake out. But anyway, all right, I've rambled on long enough. News real quick to go over. Washington, nothing to worry about. Cleveland, same old, same guys that have been out for quite some time. Milwaukee, we do have to pay attention, because Pat Connaughton was a late add to the injury report. Chris Middleton, he's a game time decision. We do need to know whether or not these players are going to be in and out right here. Pat Connaughton, that messes with the bench rotation for some of those guys. Maybe we see some more minutes for like Cameron Payne or something like that, but that's the only thing. And over here for Indy, Nemhard, he's a game time decision. Same thing with Bruce Brown, game time decision. Brown's been missing for quite some time, so I would definitely pay attention to that, because if he's back, then of course Nemhard, that kind of doesn't matter, but Neesmith should still slide into the starting lineup. And if Bruce Brown is going to be out, be interesting to see who they actually slide into that spot right there. I doubt we see a TJ McConnell or something like that, but I'll look a little bit deeper. Maybe we can see Benedict Mathurin get some more run, because Mathurin did get a pretty good chunk of run with Nemhard going down in that last game. So that was why Mathurin had a really big game last time out. Okay, see, nothing, and I didn't see anything about any players being rested or anything for us yet today, so that's good. For Atlanta, Hunter, he's just going to be out. Everyone else is back for them. Bay, Jalen Johnson, all that good jazz. Brooklyn Nets, trash cans. Ben Simmons still out. Lonnie Walker still out. Houston, Tari Eason, game time decision. Was a game time decision last time, and he ended up playing. He is on a minutes limit according to the coach, so that's something for us to pay attention to over there for them. Dylan Brooks is still out, and Oladipo is still out for them as well. New Orleans Pelicans, Trey Murphy, game time decision. Definitely want to pay attention to see if he's going to be in or out. They did hold him out yesterday since they were on the front end of a back-to-back, so definitely interesting to see if he'll be in or out tonight. For Milwaukee, nothing really to report for them. Toronto, same thing, nothing to report. Memphis, D. Rose, doubtful that he's going to play. For Portland, Simons, Kamara, and Moses Brown, all of them are game time decisions. We've seen this for the last couple games. Definitely want to pay attention for if Simons is going to be in or out. If he's out, then we should see Scoot slide back into the starting lineup. And then, or Shaden Sharp, either or. Definitely just want to know what's going on over here with them. Definitely interesting, especially because they took Sharp out of the starting lineup over here for them. But I'll dive a little bit deeper into that in a second. Over here for Dallas, Dante Exum, he is doubtful to play, so we should see regular old starters that we've seen to start the season for Dallas. For the Bulls, they're on the back end of a back-to-back. Kobe White, I want to say he left the game last night for a little bit. Patrick Williams, game time decision as well. Definitely want to know if these guys are going to be in or out. For New York, they're rolling out their new starting lineup with OG out there starting at the 3 position. Didn't look bad in their first game of the season, and I really kind of do actually like him here in the spot tonight. Not bad at all, and no news really to report for them. Clippers, no news to report right there for them as well. No rest or anything for any of their main guys. And then over here for the Phoenix Suns, biggest thing, of course, is KD is going to be out again. We've seen Metu slide into the starting lineup last time out, so I expect that once again over here. And then last game that is going to be covered on the main slate for DraftKings is Detroit versus Utah. No news really to report over here for Detroit except for Isaiah Stewart is out, and then of course the Russian roulette in the Utah Jazz. This is the projected starting lineup currently for them. This is what they rolled out last time. So hopefully no playing around and stuff like that. We get the same starters and whatnot. Maybe they might decide to start Walker Kessler here since going up against a pretty good rebounding Jalen Duren. But if they don't, then honestly, Duren should be able to eat Lauri Larkin and John Collins down there on the glass either way. But all right, heading over to DraftKings, the site that we play the most on. If you guys don't have a DraftKings account, you want one, definitely check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus and join me over here on the King. I know that intro was very long, so I'm not going to dilly-dally too much, just going to jump straight into it. Milwaukee taking on Indy. This will literally be probably the 5th time that we've seen this matchup. I personally am tired of seeing it, but it's going to be the same old song and dance. Giannis, main guy, literally has popped off in the last couple of games going up against him, coming off 7.5 fantasy points. Great possession spot. If Chris Middleton was for some reason to miss this game to the Pacers due to that knee injury management or left wrist sprain, then of course we are going to be very much interested in players like Malik Beasley, Bobby Portis, Cameron Payne, Beauchamp. All those guys probably get a little bit of a boost. And then in the starting lineup, Damian Lillard, he will also get a boost as well. Dame has not really played Indy well at all. He has one good game going up against him. Outside of that, he has not played them good at all. Maybe this could be a GPP buy low spot for Damian Lillard. Currently right now, he's projected for single-digit ownership. So I can see a world where you can definitely mess with that. But other than that, I'm not going to go there. Bobby Portis at 5'7", don't hate, don't mind it. Coming off of a pretty shitty game, 18 minutes, 16.25 fantasy points. We know that he can go out there and give us 30 plus fantasy points. Definitely a GPP play. Main guy over here for me is going to be Giannis, and then outside of that is going to be Malik Beasley if I take anything else. Cameron Payne as a GPP option just because his name does pop out to me when I was looking through value and potential bench players to play on today's slate. On the other side, that boy Halliburton, he has been hot and he's right back at it. At least dropped 50 plus fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, and going up against Milwaukee, he has cooked them every single time he has played going up against them. I do like the upside and the ceiling for him here. Once again, playing at home, don't hate it, don't mind it. Last home game, he dropped 70 fantasy points, and the game before that, 61. I would expect for him to go out here and literally just make Damian Lillard his bitch once again. Don't hate it, don't mind it. Halliburton, if you want to pay up and mess with him as one of your stars that you want to play in today's slate, the game is expected to be close, so definitely some merit in regards to going there. Outside of that, Miles Turner, GPP option for me. 28 minutes last game, only dropped 22 fantasy points, so kind of depends on what you're going to actually get from Turner, but decent spot for him. If you don't want to mess with Miles Turner, I will say that Jalen Smith, they finally gave him, well, no, they did not give him. They gave him 12 minutes in that last game. He only gave us 10 fantasy points, and was pretty shitty in regards to respect of what he actually could go out there and do. If Bruce Brown is back, that's definitely going to mess with the minutes of some of the other players that come off the bench. But if Bruce Brown is not going to be back and Nembhard is going to be out, then I will have some interest in Bennett Mathurin. As you can see, if they give him minutes, he's a pretty decent player, and I don't understand why he doesn't actually get the minutes at all. But if Mathurin was to be able to start, or if we see that Bruce Brown and Nembhard are going to miss, or if one of the latter misses or something of the sort, then I will have some interest in Mathurin as a GPP option. Outside of that, not really messing too much with anything over here. And then if you want to take a GPP option, GPP stab, I think it was Isaiah Jackson, 20 minutes in the last game, dropped 31.75 fantasy points. GPP option right there. Not going to say he's going to go out there and do it again, but a possibility right there. Now, Washington taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Over here with Mobley being out still, do see some upside and things like that, especially for the power forward position in the boy Kyle Kuzma. We do know most of the usage is between Kuzma and it's between Jordan Poole. Kuzma, decent matchup. We've seen opposing power forwards, especially since Mobley's been down, have done pretty well. Pascal Siakam just dropped 49 on them. Giannis the game before dropped 63. Trey Murphy on the Pelicans dropped 44. Lauri Markkanen dropped 43. So pretty decent power forwards that actually have a good usage rate actually have done very well in this matchup. And Kyle Kuzma, definitely do like that. Think that they can actually keep it close. The Wizards, they have been playing much better over the last several games, so I don't mind going to a Kyle Kuzma if I take something from over here. And then Jordan Poole, Denny Avdia, all these other guys, they'll all be GPP options for me. No one stands out as a must or a good play outside of Kyle Kuzma at that 7.9 price tag. That's really good from over there. Now on the other side, of course, I'm going to want to get some pieces from the other side. As we do know, Washington, we've attacked them pretty much in games that seem like they will be close. Now, with the plethora of injuries that they have over here, I do believe this game should be close. I don't think the Cavs will be able to blow them out, but it's just fantasy goodness written all over the place. A pretty nice total over here for them. And with all the uses concentrated into Donovan Mitchell at 9.5, I kind of think the price is too low. I do believe he'll go out here and give us at least 50 plus fantasy points over here on the slate. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I sometimes do to especially see in regards to stud players I'm looking at playing, what are they projected for on the prop sites? And Donovan Mitchell currently projected for 52.5 fantasy points. Now, granted, they go off of FanDuel's projections in regards to like the blocks, the steals, and those things like that. But Donovan Mitchell, I agree with that projection. I do believe that he has a 50 plus fantasy point type game within him. Not worried about Tyus Jones' defense or anything like that. Just the usage. The ball is in this man's hand. The rebounds, the assists, all those things. Matter of fact, what's his rebounds and assists at? 7 for his assists right now. Rebounds and assists sitting at 13.5. He's gone over that literally 5 out of his last 4 games. And just, again, the usage that this man has, those assists, all those. I definitely do believe that he'll go over his assists on today. Rebounds and assists, I would take a stab at that as well. On top of that, but if you want the safety, I'll take his fantasy points as well as another play right there to go over. But that's just a little quick tidbit and something that I just do in order to like gauge things like, okay, hey, which studs are really like popping off, things like that, because those prop sites, they're actually pretty good at projecting in regards to what they expect the players to do and stuff like that on a night in, night out basis. Now, a couple other places to touch on, of course, is going to be Jared Allen, opposing centers going up against Darius Garland, have literally just ate this man alive. Clint Capella just dropped 40 on him. Claxton dropped 36. DeAndre Ayton, 47. Sabonis, 68. Yusuf Nurkic, 37. Now, of course, with everyone else being out, his uses have gone up as well. He's out there scoring. He's getting those rebounds, things like that. As a matter of fact, check the link down in the description below for the Patreon. I will be dropping a complete stack of this game in regards to props and how I really do feel like this game is going to go. I as I look at it, I love the upside and everything that I'm looking at right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. Several players literally stick out to me, but outside of Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, I will go right back to the well in regards to Max Strus. The minutes are just here for this dude with everyone just being out. Last game, he shot 2 of 7. He legit shot poor. Didn't do anything in the first half of the game, but still scrounged his way to 21.5 fantasy points. Now, if he actually has a decent shooting night, goes out there, shoots the ball, takes his threes, actually knocks down his threes, does what he does in regards to the defensive stats that he can get, playing against Washington. We know they can turn the ball over, things like that. The opportunities for those assists, rebounds, he's stuffing the stat sheet in every category. I do believe that we can pop off and have a pretty decent game over here. So I do like a bounce back spot for Max Strus. I'm not going to say that Karis LeVert, who's sitting at 6,400, isn't going to be able to come out here and go out and drop another 29 minutes to give me 43 fantasy points, but that was on 31 points out here. Yes, the matchup is soft. He should be able to go out here and do that, but $100 in savings, everyone's going to flock to LeVert. I'll be different. I'll go with Max Strus. I really do like the upside there. And then last but not least, last play that I really do actually like on today's slate and for value is going to be Isaac Okoro. The matchup is there for him. Opposing small forwards going up against Washington have actually done pretty decent as well. We just seen Sadiq Bey, Cam Johnson, OG Anunoby, and France. All of them dropped at least 30 plus fantasy points in this exact same matchup. Now, I know he's a low usage player, but with all these players being out, he's being asked to score. He can lock in on the defensive side as well, and he can definitely dish the rock just a little bit, get a couple of assists, but at least he's doing things in all stat categories. In that 5K, I will take the value right there for him. I do like that. Now, everyone else off the bench, it's a tight rotation. I'm not too interested in Craig Porter Jr. With Donnie back, they're not really giving him minutes. Dean Wade, he's a trash can. He's literally just a traffic cone. Georges Niang, if he gets hot, he'll definitely be out there. And then Sam Morril, he's definitely has cooled off since his earlier days, but definitely a GPP option, because if you feel like he'll come in here and he'll get hot, just lighten it up again, then definitely I could see merit into playing him, but complete GPP option over there. All right, OKC taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Real quick on this one, they're on the back end of a back-to-back. The starters really play mega minutes. This will definitely be a spot for us to let down, and I'm going to be very honest, a spot for us to let down, considering that the Boston game was so highly anticipated for us going into that game, and just us being able to actually come out there and get the win. I definitely could see a world in where the starters struggle, they aren't really generating the points, so on and so forth. So with that being said, it is going to be a long stretch of games for the Thunder for this whole month of January. They have 17 games and like 5 back-to-backs. I do expect it to be deeper rotations in regards to more minutes for players like Karen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, Misich, who last night he also ended up playing 11 minutes again. Is definitely starting to show he could be a decent fantasy point per minute producer when he's out there. Just needs to knock down that shot. But outside of that, of course, it's going to be the main guys over here for the Thunder. Shea, do like him. Upside's there. We know he's going to go out there and do everything. The ball's going to be in his hand. 57 fantasy points. Definitely in the realm where he can go out there and do. Chet did very well in the first game going up against the Atlanta Hawks when he played them before. Let me see if that game logs up in here. Yep, there we go. Atlanta, 34 minutes. He dropped 45 fantasy points. I do like the upside and don't mind going to him as well. J-Dub, kind of a decent game last night. 27.25 fantasy points, but I know he could pop for something bigger. Definitely don't mind going to him. GPP option, honestly, to me. Now, Lou Dort and Josh Giddey, both of these guys are coin flips, because honestly, right now, I definitely see merit in riding the wave of Josh Giddey's playing good again. But this will be him on the road. So I think maybe we might go back down to like that 25, sub 30 fantasy point type game. Being on the road, I know that he might still be dealing with the boos and stuff like that from players due to his allegations and stuff going on. So something maybe to take merit, fade Giddey, go with Dort. Or if you think that Giddey's going to struggle, something like that, definitely possibly more minutes for Isaiah Joe or Kassan Wallace. Either one of those. But for me, main two guys, SGA, Chet, would be the main ones I want to look at. Now over on the other side for Atlanta, as always, of course, it's going to be Trae Young. Like I told you guys before, 10-3. Definitely, again, Donovan Mitchell was 9-5 in a much better matchup. Literally, a much better matchup. So, Trae Young at 10-3. I know he has 60, 70 plus fantasy point type performances within his arsenal, but just looking at it, I know he'll claw and scratch his way to it. Don't hate, don't mind him here in this matchup at all. DeJounte Murray, he went off for like 40 plus fantasy points the first time that he played going up against the Thunder. Definitely think he can do that once again here. 33 minutes, 46.5 fantasy points, so don't mind it at all. Not a must. Clint Capella, I do really actually like the upside for Clint, as long as they actually give him his minutes and they let him go out there and cook. 21 minutes against the Thunder, dropped 26.5 fantasy points, as long as he can actually get the minutes. He's a really great rebounder, can definitely get some offensive putbacks, things like that. The only thing is that I will say Jalen Johnson actually playing, he eats into a lot of the rebounds and everything for Clint while he's being out there. They're a really good rebounding team, especially with him playing. And whatnot. But Jalen Johnson, don't mind him. I definitely do think that he can have a double-double himself, just with the rebound paralysis that he has to be out here on the court. I really do like the upside. And playing against the Thunder, he played 34 minutes and legit dropped 45 fantasy points going up against us. So really do like the upside for him here in this position spot. So don't mind that. And then GPP option for me is going to be Saddiq Bey. Honestly, all the Hawks, they look really well. Trae Young would be the main one I would look to. Jalen Johnson will be following second behind. Saddiq Bey as the last GPP option would be one I would look to, just because this dude, has a realm of possibilities in regards to what he can go out there and give you. Looks like he did not play in that first game going up against the Thunder as I go through his game log. So definitely depends on what you can actually get from him. But as long as he's starting, he's been very well producing in that time frame while he's been out there. So do not mind going to him. All right, going over to Toronto, new looking lineup Toronto with Isaiah Quickly out there. I'm not too sure if he's actually starting as the point guard or is he actually out there as the 2, but either way, 6'4", going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. Don't mind it at all. I really do like the upside that he has. He looked very good out there in that first game. RJ Barrett, him himself as well, wasn't bad. Definitely kind of around the realm of what I expected for RJ to look like and do being out there in that first matchup. So not anything to write home about. But main two guys I want to look to over here for the Toronto Raptors is going to be Scotty Barnes. As long as he's playing that point position, has the ball in his hand, and can dish the rock and get those assists and just the scoring, and he's on the road. On the road, he's averaging a pretty good number of points and also taking a lot more threes. So on the road, I definitely will be looking at possibly a 3-point attempt prop for him. Matter of fact, let's actually see if they have that up for him already. Scotty Barnes. They do not have 3 points made or his 3-point prop up, but if they ever do add that to the board, if they put it up at like 1.5 3 points made, he's definitely averaging like about 2.5 threes made on the road, and then also he's averaging at least about 8 to 9 threes attempted a game on the road as well. So 2 props that I would look to if they actually add those to the boards. But Scotty Barnes, I do like the upside for him here at the point guard position, or small forward, whichever one you decide to slide him into. And then on the other side of that, Jakob Poeltl, we talked about it last time, with Precious being gone, Poeltl is actually playing those minutes, and opposing centers going up against the makeshift lineup that they have out here for the Memphis Grizzlies have actually done pretty decent. We just saw Wemby last night in limited minutes, 27 minutes, dropped 38.75 fantasy points. I'm not going to say that's what Poeltl is going to go out here and do, but the upside is definitely there for him to have another 30 plus fantasy point game. And I said it last time, it is direct correlation to the fact that Precious Achiuwa is not there to eat into those minutes. They have to go ahead and play Poeltl. They really don't trust Bouchard out there at the center spot. They have no other actual big to back him up. Koboloko is out, so they are going to give Poeltl his minutes as long as he keeps himself out of foul trouble. We're going to see him on the court, and he's a very good fantasy point per minute producer when he's out there. All right, over to the other side, Memphis Grizzlies. Looking at them, they didn't do too bad last night, but definitely expected more, I'm going to say. But John Morant, Desmond Bane, both plays, you can go ahead and go with either of them. They're decent. Jaren Jackson Jr., I'm not too interested in him here in this spot. I will say, the matchup grades out, again, good for Marcus Smart. And I've talked about this before in regards to players that let down, just like Patrick Williams before. I can't think of the other one that we're on before another time, but this is the exact same thing. He let us down, didn't do good, was a shit game from him. I do believe that we can go right back to Marcus Smart here. Play 30 minutes. He's going to be playing around 30 minutes. Derrick Rose is still doubtful. He is going to have the ball in his hand. We know he's going to actually chuck up his shots. If he actually can knock down his threes or just hit some shots, period, he has the possibility to go ahead and claw and scratch his way up to a 30 plus fantasy point game, along with the fact of the defensive stats that we know Marcus Smart goes out there and gets on a night in, night out basis. I would definitely go right back to Marcus Smart. It just bleeds, reads, and says, go back and play me. Everyone's going to be off of me. Looking at ownership right now, Marcus Smart looking at 1.7% for ownership. Matter of fact, that was the other player, Andre Drummond. It was 2 Bulls. Patrick Williams, the first game, went right back to him, popped off for 30 plus fantasy point. Andre Drummond, everyone was on him. He dropped 30-something fantasy points, was a dud of a game. Second game, went back out there. I want to say he dropped 40, 50 fantasy points in that next game. Marcus Smart, dud of a game. Didn't give us jack dilly billy squat in his first game. Goes out here tonight. I think he'll give us at least about 30, 35 fantasy points. That's my stamp. That's my take right there on it. Hey, didn't do too bad with Larry Nance Jr. last night. Went out there and gave us at least 20 plus fantasy points. So I'll take that on any given night from a value 4-2 play. Going over to the Pelicans, speaking of Larry Nance Jr., going over to his team. I will say that CJ McCollum let me down last night. But the Pelicans going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, I honestly have no interest really too much in anyone over here. Unless Trey Murphy was to miss again, then of course we can go back to Najee Marsh. Maybe some plays off the bench like Jose Alvarado, Dyson Daniels. These guys could possibly get some more minutes and things like that. But really, for me, no one over here sticks out as a really great play. You can always go with the BI, Zion Williamson, 2 GPP-ish for me, especially going up against the Twin Towers. I would rather probably stick with the guards and CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, if I mess with anything over there for the Pelicans. But right now, they're kind of a scratch-off for me. On the other side, for the Minnesota Timberwolves, kind of feeling the exact same way in regards to the Timberwolves as well. No one pops out as anything for me. Maybe looking at some of the bench players like Kyle Anderson, I can take a chance on. Jalen McDaniels, I know he's a low-usage player, but I don't mind that. Kyle Anderson, been a minute since he's actually given something decent, but I do know that the Pelicans do give up a pretty decent amount of fantasy points to opposing power forwards and backup small forwards as well. So Naz Reid, Kyle Anderson, either one of these guys would be decent backup plays that we could possibly go to, but no one really pops out in this game as a must play that we have to have. Going over to the Chitlin Nets, just like I said literally last night in regards to them, I don't even understand how the hell they got blown out. They got blown out last night against the Pelicans. Blown out. It was a trash game. And I said it. You can never trust Spencer Dinwiddie. You can't trust Mikal Bridges. I do not trust this team, and I still don't trust them. Going up against the Houston Rockets, who they're decent, good defensive team. Maybe they'll play better, but guess what? I'm not going to know it because I'm fading the Nets once again. I will not play them unless they play a team like the Washington Wizards. And then even then, they'll have to be dirt cheap for me to even want to mess with that and go there. All of them, just kind of like what I said about Marcus Smart, all GPP options, all GPP plays. If you want to mess with it, it's going to be Mikal Bridges first, Cam Johnson second, Nick Claxton third, Spencer Dinwiddie fourth. If you want to go there, mess with it, burn your money on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not touching that dumpster fire trash can of a team. I'm sorry. Now, on the other side, the Houston Rockets, I really do like everyone over here. Tari Eason, he's going to play. Not to worry about that. The dude is a bucket when he's out there on the court. A really great fantasy point per minute producer. He's limited to around the 24 to 27 minutes. They've already come out and said that that's literally is going to be his minutes and rotations for him. So I don't mind going right back to Tari Eason if you want to mess with that there. Even with Jabari Smith Jr. being back, he plays 27 minutes, not bad. I'm not going to mess with Jabari. Not with all the players being back, and plus with Tari and Tate and them being back, his minutes are going to kind of be limited. He's not going to see those 30-plus minutes like what he was before. But I will say Şengün, I like him in this matchup. Freddie V, I do like him in this matchup. Hopefully the Shitlin Nets can actually keep it close, and we actually can get a decent game from both Şengün or Freddie V if you decide to go either one of these two guys over here. But both of them have been playing tremendously over the last couple games, and I really do like the upside. Şengün will be the main guy I'd go to, and then over on the other side, it'll be Freddie V if you want to mess with it and go there. Go down to the Portland Trailblazers taking on Dallas. We need to know the news for sure if Simon's going to be in or out. If Simon's going to be out, I'll have some interest in Michael Brogdon, who we've seen kind of run the point guard position, things like that. Only played 21 minutes in that last game going up against the Phoenix Suns. It was a blowout for them. 20 fantasy points. If we think they can actually keep it close, I don't mind it. But the safest play, honestly, is going to be the young guys. Scoot, 34 minutes, 33 fantasy points. It is coming around. It's clicking for Scoot. I really do like the upside for him once again, 6'3", especially if Simons was to miss. If we get starting Scoot, don't hate it, don't mind it. If not, and he's coming off the bench still with Sharp starting for Simons or something like that, I will still take Scoot because either way, he's going to play about right around 30 minutes. Shaedon Sharp, he was back. He played only 18 minutes in the last game. They're probably going to ramp him up slowly. GPP option, not going to mess with that. 6K. He probably might get about 20 to 25 minutes. Not even worth it. If Kamara, Reith, and all these other guys are to be out, Moses Brown, then they should be playing Jabari Walker, mega minutes at the center position or the power forward position. Decent fantasy point per minute producer. Don't mind going there if you want to mess with it there. As we do know, Ayton is still going to be out. But if not, definitely can see some merit in going with Jeremy Grant if you think this game will actually stay close. In close games, he's played his minutes, he's produced, he's done very well. Non-close games, he hasn't really done too much. For Dallas, as always, with Exum being doubtful to play, Luka, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth option. Luka, if the game blows out, it will be at the back of either Luka or Kyrie going out here and popping off. Kind of with Kyrie being back, it dampens me wanting to even go up and look at Luka at 11.5 when I can come down, get Donovan Mitchell for 9.5, who has just as high of a ceiling as Luka, but doesn't have to worry about the usage and everything being split between him, Kyrie, and things like that. So I will rather play Donovan Mitchell over Luka Doncic or anything like that. With that being said, Luka would be a GPP option, probably will come in lower owned, especially due to the matchup, possibility of a blowout, and the fact that there are some cheaper guards on the slate that you can go to over Luka. And then, of course, like I said, Kyrie being back. Kyrie, GPP option, you could definitely go there, mess with him, but don't hate it, don't mind it. And I really do like the matchup for Derek Lively. Opposing centers with DeAndre Ayton being out have smashed in this spot. So Lively, young player, should still see minutes, even if the game was to be a blowout. Really do like the upside for him here. Definitely don't mind taking that right there. Chicago taking on the New York Knickerbockers, who literally just got their behinds blown out last night, looked like shit, played like shit, could have definitely gave me a much better game than what they gave. Back into the back-to-back. Depending on if Kobe White, let's see, I think we had just got an update. He left the game, right ankle injury. So depending on if he's going to actually play or be in, if he's out, then we might see Ayo DeSumo slide into the starting lineup. If they do start Ayo, I'll have some interest there just because he's 4'9". I know the kid can actually go out there and shoot it, plays pretty good defense, and can play make a bit. And like I said, for 4'9", that's not bad at all for him, especially for the fact that Zach LaVine is still out. Now, if Kobe White was to miss, that means that the usage and there's going to be a bump to DeMar DeRozan. I will say, I don't mind the matchup for DeRozan. If he can actually go out here and claw and scratch his way to at least 40+ fantasy points, that'll definitely be a plus. And of course, it might be a boost to the boy Drum Dog, who went out there, did his best against Embiid. 28 minutes, dropped 36 fantasy points. That's not bad. Still snagged 17 rebounds. That's ridiculous. Do they have Drummond up here yet? They don't have the Drum Dog. All right, so if they actually put Drummond up and they put his rebounds to like 14, 15, I'll definitely take the over. The man's a rebounding machine. And of course, if Kobe White and Patrick Williams was to miss, on return Tuesday, right ankle injury. So I doubt that Patrick Williams plays, and I would be surprised if Kobe White plays. So definitely will have some interest in Ayo Dosunmu, Javon Carter is definitely going to get a boost. Alex Caruso, he will handle some more playmaking duties, thing like that. DeMar DeRozan, he'll get a boost, but Drum Dog, I really do have some interest right there because I don't think that Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be able to stop a dominant rebounder and a dominant force on the inside like Andre Drummond at all. Now going over here to the other side, all those players being down and out, things like that, I really do like the upside for OJ Anunoby. First game playing with his team, he played 35 minutes, dropped 31 fantasy points, 17.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and he fouled out the game. So maybe if he didn't foul out, we probably would have seen them ride him into the ground. It was a 112-106, beautiful win for the Knickerbockers out there. Don't hate, don't mind going over here to OG, especially just because I think he might be underpriced. Of course, more people are going to want to flock to the Julius Randles and things like that. But when you look at the matchup and everything, OG kind of grades out as the best player on this team in regards to what they could do. We just saw Tobias Harris last night light them up for 37 fantasy points going here. And then also Kelly Oubre Jr., he popped off himself as well. OG, a really good spot up shooter. We've seen that Brunson, he's going to look for him. He's going to find those shots. 14 assists in that last game. Matter of fact, do they have Brunson's assists up here? Brunson assist. No, they don't have all the good props that we could probably get. Prize Picks, what are you doing? Bro, look, right, I've already gave out like several props that I would go ahead and take on the slate if they actually put them up. I know I put up my main slip already for the day. Well, not slip, but my main list. I put up 10 props already for the day. But some of these other props literally was because they weren't up on the board whenever I was looking for them. So definitely, if they were to add some of these other things that I've called out, guys, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it quick. Take it while you can. All right, last 2 games on the slate. If you guys have made it this far, thank you guys for tuning in. This is definitely a long one. Like I said, 10-game slate. Hopefully you guys have rocked with me all the way through. Thank you guys for the support. You can support me by hitting that like button. It definitely lets me know you guys are enjoying the content. And hit the subscribe button if you guys are new here. All right, going over Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons. Looking decent since they finally got their win the other day. And I definitely think that this game right here should be close. It is a 8-point spread, of course, in favor of the Utah Jazz. They are on the road, but I do still believe that Detroit should be able to keep this close. They've played them already once this season. I'm pretty sure that they played them once already this season. Yeah, they played them once this season, and Cade dropped 56 fantasy points in that game. Again, Cade, he's the catalyst for this team. 30 minutes against a tough Houston defense. Only gave us 20.25 fantasy points. Bounce back spot position for Cade Cunningham to go out here. We've seen the usage. He's been dominating in his own right. Jalen Duren, I do like him for a double-double again here today. Has been rebounding, is literally a rebounding machine when he's out there on the court. 32 fantasy points. I'm not too scared of John Collins out there defense. Lauri Markkanen out there if they're playing both of those guys out there for the center position. I would only worry if they start Walker Kessler, but it seems like they're very content and having him come off the bench. So the upside is definitely going to be there for those guys. Jaden Ivey, GPP option, but I will much rather go to Cade. Literally more security to me in my eyes in regards to that. Now off the bench, Alex Burks has been seeing a uptick in regards to his minutes. Been playing pretty decently. As long as he's actually stroking and hitting that shot, he's going to get this burn, and he's going to definitely get us there. 31 fantasy points in the last game. Don't hate, don't mind that at all as a possible value play. And then Amen Thompson. Now, granted, his minutes might have just been there because he was playing against his brother, who plays on Houston. So not really going to mess with there. Kevin Knox, I'm not falling for him starting again. Outside of that, not really too much over here. It really would just be Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, and Alex Burke as a GPP option off the bench. On the Utah Jazz side, should be a smash spot for Lauri Markkanen, as long as he actually plays his normal minutes, giving us 30-plus minutes, not these 26 or 25 minutes, granted, blowout type games. So hopefully we can get back to the normal Lauri Markkanen role in minutes, and I would not mind that at all. I wouldn't mind a lot of these guys over here. Colin Sexton as well. As long as the kid is still starting or at least getting a decent chunk of minutes to run, don't hate it at all. If they do start Chris Dunn at the point guard position, looks like he might be capped around 20-ish minutes, but decent fantasy point per minute producer when he's been out there. So don't mind Chris at 4.7. That's some decent value right there. Main guy I would take would be Lauri Markkanen if I mess with anything over there for them. Clippers taking on the Phoenix Suns. Last game on the slate, last one on the dock. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, all these guys look great. Harden on the road has been kind of pretty much unstoppable out there. Going against Thunder, 37 minutes, he dropped 51 fantasy points against Dallas, 39 minutes, 44. Indy, 28 minutes, 59. Utah, 34 minutes, 34. So once Harden got in his groove, he's been playing very well. Don't hate, don't mind him, and the matchup is going to be there. Devin Booker defense doesn't scare me. Bradley Beal defense doesn't scare me. Should be able to go out there and score and do whatever the hell he wants. Kawhi Leonard back. Looks like he's playing his normal minutes. He's good to go. If you want to mess with that there, 8-4, I don't hate it. That's definitely some savings. And then last but not least is going to be Paul George. If you want to mess with him there, usage is kind of just mid-level. Not really too high on Paul George. I would say GPP option, if you want to mess with it, would be go Kawhi Leonard, because I would imagine Harden would be more owned, and then Paul George, of course, for the value. No one's probably going to mess with Kawhi Leonard right here, sandwiched in the middle. So I really do like the upside you could possibly get from just going with him as possible play. Outside of that, maybe you can mess with Zubac or Russell Westbrook off the bench, but those are all just far GPP plays, not anything that's a must. Over on the Phoenix side, Nurk is the best play to me over here on the Phoenix Suns. Usage is there with KD being out. Rebounds, he can definitely rebound. He's played very well going up against the Clippers and against Zubac throughout his history and his career. I don't hate that, especially if you can tell me he can go out there and give me about 40 plus fantasy points. I will take that any given night. Everyone else is going to be GPP option. Beal, they're starting to creep his price up. Definitely rightfully so. 30 plus fantasy points in his last game, 34 minutes. I'm not going to mess with that at all. Devin Booker would be the only other guy I would go to at 9-4, but I can go up there and get Donovan Mitchell at 9-5 right there, and I can just get the value and come down here and get a 7-6 Yusuf Nurkic if I want to for anything else. You can always go with my safety blanket, which is going to be Grayson Allen. Doesn't give you anything less than about 25 to 27 fantasy points and has the upside to go out there and get you 30 plus fantasy points on any given night if he needs to. Definitely would be the play I would go to. Outside of that, everyone else has really low usage. They're far and in between in regards to what they're going to actually do. Safest play to me is going to be your boy Nurk over there as the best play. All right, guys, that is going to be it for me. Hopefully, you guys got a little bit of something from this breakdown. I hope you guys do cash out. Wish you guys all the best. Talk to me down in the comment section. Let me know, who do you guys think is going to be your stack last night? Someone told me last night their stack was SGA and Tatum. They felt like they were going to be able to go out there and have a good game, and they were actually correct. So let me see if you guys got something else for tonight. Let me know, and let me know how you guys did last night. Hopefully, you guys do cash out. Peace.